Hey guys, Joe Capiello here from primalperspective.com. I hear all the time from friends and family members that they want to go gluten-free and grain-free, but they don't know how. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 tips on how to get rid of gluten and grains from your diet. One thing to note is when you get rid of all grains from your diet, you're going to eliminate all gluten as well. So here's my primal perspective. I can fly. Adopting a primal lifestyle sounds good on paper to a lot of people, but actually implementing this lifestyle and this diet can be kind of tough. You know, it's ingrained in our culture that grains and sugar make up a lot of our calories and a lot of the food that we eat. I'm gonna give you 3 tips that you can implement in your everyday life so you can get away from grains in your diet and adopt more whole foods that have healthy fats and a lot of protein. Tip number 1, create a pro and con list of eating grains. First, let's start with the pros. What are the benefits of eating grains? The first thing I can think of is they are cheap. They're very affordable when you go to the grocery store to buy bagels and a loaf of bread, corn, and rice. So you can buy this food in abundance for a cheap price. Additionally, because it's cheap, it actually does come with a lot of calories inside of these foods. So if you are on a very strict budget and you're trying to get as much calories into your diet as possible, that's another reason you might want to eat grains or why you might be eating grains. The last reason I could think of why people would eat grains is it tastes good to some people. You know, when you eat bagels and you eat pasta and you eat corn, it is, you know, pure carbohydrate, pure energy, and it does taste good. So those are the only 3 reasons I can see that people would eat grains. On the con side, let's think of reasons we would not want to eat grains. Number 1, you know, they are pure carbohydrates, which means when you eat it, once your liver and your muscles are filled with blood sugar, the rest is going to be stored as fat. So that's reason number 1 you might want to stay away from grains. Reason number 2, it actually has been shown to promote irritable bowel syndrome, eczema, mood swings, acid reflux, leg swelling, and migraines. Put all those together, those are symptoms that I would personally want to avoid. So when you think about it, is feeling bad after those couple minutes of elation, getting diseases or getting conditions in your body, is it worth it? You know, there's a ton of other fantastic foods out there that you can eat in replacement of grains, which leads me to tip number 2. After you make a list of pros and cons of why you would or would not want to eat grains, make a list of substitutions of foods that you really like that are not grains. So for me personally, there are certain foods I love. I love chicken thighs, I love bacon, I love avocado, I love coconut, I love steak. These are foods I always make sure I have stacked in my fridge, because if I have these foods on hand, I know I can eat as much of these foods as I ever want on a primal diet. And so if I ever felt like I have a craving for grains, I have some really good alternatives. So what I would say is write down a list of foods that don't contain grains and that are not grains, and buy those foods at the grocery store. Which leads me to tip number 3. Decide whether or not you want to do this like a band-aid and just go cold turkey, or if you want to do a slow and easy transition to a primal diet. If you want to do a quick band-aid, you want to rip it right off and you want to jump right into the primal diet, I say go for it. That's what I did. I wanted to give it my all and give it my best shot. And so what I did is I went throughout my entire kitchen and I threw everything that was not that had grains in it. So throw out your pasta, throw out your bread, throw out your corn, throw out your rice, throw out anything that has grains. And then once you have everything that's thrown out, you're going to the grocery store. Once you have that list, go to the grocery store and buy those foods that you love. Don't worry about how much of those foods you're buying or whether or not you're gonna overeat those foods. You're gonna notice that when you get grains away from your diet, you're gonna feel so much better. Now, if you wanna do a slow and easy transition, that's okay too. You know, I want this to work for you. So what I would tell you to do is first week or first couple weeks starting, tell yourself that you are not gonna eat grains in one meal per day. So for the first 2 weeks, you can eat grains in 2 out of 3 meals when I'm talking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And make that commitment to one of those meals not eat grains. Then 2 more weeks in, make those 2 meals, make 2 meals where you're not eating grains. So now you have 1 meal, you can eat a grain, you can have rice, you can have corn, you can have, you know, a sandwich, and you don't need to feel guilty. But those other 2 meals, you have to have a salad. You have to have steak and potatoes. You have to have bacon and eggs. And then after that 1 month, those 4 weeks, that's when you're gonna make that transition. That's when you're gonna actually go for it. You're weaning yourself off of grains and you're going towards whole foods that are packed with nutrients, that are packed with protein, and that are packed with healthy fats. Those are my 3 tips to get you off of grains and eating a primal diet. So last thing guys, if you got value out of this video or if you have any questions, comment below. Like this video if you got value out of it. And if you're looking for more videos, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will be uploading a video every single week for you guys. Last but not least, remember, get happy, get healthy, go primal. I can fly.